Thank you once again for tuning into our YouTube channel, Save Green here. We talk about saving money and anything we can do to save you money on your utility bill, save money on electricity, water, whatnot, even shopping. So today we're going to talk about a device we feel is a necessity because nowadays we have hurricanes, storms, fires. You have so many natural disasters occurring that you want to have some kind of backup power, at least to cover your necessary things, being your communications, that being your cell phone, even your internet at home. If your power goes out, you have no internet. So this can help in the case of emergency where you would need to charge your phone, your tablet, get a printer running, even your router and modem at home. So this is the Anker Solix, and it's a portable power station. This particular model, and obviously there's dozens of models out there. There's even one that if you have like a mobile business, like pet grooming or something where you have a mobile van, even like a one of those vans that does food service, you can get one that'll operate even a small air conditioner for vans. And you got some that are thousands of dollars that'll operate a whole house or large apartment and whatnot. But look at the wattage, because that's what's going to tell you how big or how much it can power. This is a 300 watt model. And then you also want to look at your watt hours. I'll explain that in a little bit because I have over 15 years in the utility business, so I know how to do all these calculations for you. This particular model does 600 watts as a surge, because when equipment turns on, you have a surge, not just the power that you're going to be consuming, but the startup power. For example, a refrigerator can be 300 watts running, but when it first starts, it's going to hit around 600 watts. Same thing with a small window air conditioner, for example. This one has 8 outlets, and it also has USB-C up to 140 watts. That's really impressive. And looking at the side here, it'll operate most phones, laptops, even drones for charging, cameras, tablets, and a mini fridge. It's giving you an idea, a general idea. They're very portable. You can take it with you. And then just like I mentioned before, you got a total of 8 outlets, including your plugs down at the bottom, and then your plugs up here. And it does have a connection for solar power. So you can connect a solar type of array as long as it's in direct sun. And then here you have more or less where your batteries are. And it's very interesting that the batteries that they're now using, and this is why you want to get something reliable, for example, from Anker, is because of the type of battery that they're using. There's a lot of knockoffs out there and cheap ones that you can get cheaper than this, but the battery will not last you. And this one is designed to last 10 years. And that's because of the type of battery that's in it. So I'm going to go ahead and open it, unbox it for you, show you what's in it. And we will start with this little tiny box here. From what I checked, they do not include a strap, a shoulder strap, which they might have in the past, but they just recently had a big price drop point on it. And so now what you get inside is your instruction manual and your connector cable, okay? And that is it. There's nothing else in there, okay? So this is completely empty. Put that off to the side. You got your connector cable. It's not very long, it's about 3 feet long. And then of course your manual, user guide, and your warranty card. It does have a 5-year warranty, although the battery is designed to live 10 years. What that means is if anything happens to the battery or whatever, make sure you keep that around. Make sure you keep your warranty around, your receipt, because Anker, the company, will cover it for 5 years, okay? So I'll just grab it with my hand, pull it out. Comes off the plastic. And is not very heavy at all. So I'm going to turn this on. So this one here is at 100% charged, and we're going to go ahead and test a few items on it. So each section, so you have a section here, you have a section here, and a section here has its own power button. So if I wanted to use, for example, a connector like the ones on your car cigarette lighter connector, I would turn this on and use this one. It also has a light, so I'm about to blind you for a minute, where it's got 3 levels of brightness. So you can also use that as a night flashlight, or if you wanted to read something, you can adjust it so that it's not so bright. If you want to look somewhere further, you can adjust the lighting accordingly. So let's go ahead and connect something to it. First, we're going to use the connectors on the top, and I'm going to grab myself a USB-C cable, although it does have a regular USB connector here. These are USB-C, and then if I swipe this down, you have a USB-C over here as well. And this connector down here is if you wanted to connect a solar panel to it. So you got those solar arrays available out there, and you can just connect it and charge it that way if you wanted to. So that's an option there as well. I'm going to go with the, let's say this 140 watt. Now it doesn't mean it'll charge everything at 140 watts. That means it's got that much as a maximum. So I'm going to take this iPhone here and connect it, and I just heard it connecting. And what it does here down at the bottom right here is it tells you at the wattage that it's charging, and you might see that there. Let me see if I can get it closer. You see that it's charging at 5 watts. It's not a lot of power, so it's not going to drain this quickly. So if you look back at the box, let me just bring it back up here again. This particular model is 288 watt hours. What that means is 1 watt hour is 1 hour of running power. So for example, this phone that right now is charging will charge at a rate of 5 watts. And let me get my calculator out there. So 5 watts, since the actual device is 288 watt hours, we'll take 288 divided by 5 watts. So it'll work up to 57 hours charging this phone. It'll charge this phone over and over and over again, because an iPhone just takes a few hours to charge. So it'll charge this phone for weeks if needed, even if you charged it every day. So just so you can get an idea. Now, how do you calculate, for example, if you wanted to charge some or use something that uses more power, like 50 watts or 100 watts or whatever, up to 300 watts? Well, the best way to do it is if you look at the back of the equipment, most radios, TVs, whatever, even your routers, if you look in the back, there's going to be a label somewhere. That will tell you how many watts that equipment is using. So for example, something that were 50 watts, since this is 288 watt hours, it'll power it up for 6 hours, just so you get an idea. What if it doesn't say the wattage on the equipment? Let's say it just tells you the amps. Well, your voltage is 110 volts, so multiply 110 times the amps. So I'm going to do that for you right now so you have an idea of how that would work. And let's say I have my refrigerator is 3 amps. I'm going to multiply that times 110 volts. And obviously that's 330 watts. So there are other equipment out there that will go higher than this. There's one that's 600 watts. I believe there's one for 1,000 watts, and some that go 4,000, 5,000 watts, like I mentioned before. So you want to calculate your equipment first before you attempt plugging it in, because it will take regular plugins, like you see there at the bottom, up to 3 devices that you can plug in at the bottom, and then just use it, whether it's something you want to charge or something you want to power. Like it mentioned in the box, you can power a small coffee maker, but I wouldn't advise you to leave it on all day because you're going to run out. It's something to get you by in an emergency, because this is not very heavy at all, and you can take it with you. But they do have other devices, Anker does, that are bigger and more powerful. They are going to be heavier. Some of the real like bulky heavy duty ones have wheels on them. You can drag them around like a beach cooler with wheels, and that'll help you get by. But as you can see just from my unboxing and showing you here, if I wanted to plug something in the bottom, all I have to do is turn this power on and plug it in, and when it's running, it'll tell you the wattage just like it did for this iPhone, which is still plugged in. They're charging right now. It's charging at about 4 watts. And that is pretty cool. I like the fact that it tells you all that right on there. And that 206 that you see there is the remaining, now it's at 240, give or take. So it's telling you it's got 240 remaining watt hours. So it's pretty cool. Now it does have an app as well that is very interactive. I downloaded it. I have it running on my phone, and you could turn this on and off from your phone. You can turn the light on and off from your phone. You can even do an SOS from your phone. So if you were like in an emergency situation, you could turn the SOS and the light will start blinking. So it's pretty cool. They just dropped this by $100, by the way. So that's why we got it. And we wanted to do a review on it just so everyone can check it out. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. Hit that subscribe button below. Let us know in the comments if you bought this or if you have any questions about how to calculate electricity and whatnot, and we would be more than happy to help you out. Until the next time, please check out our other videos as well and learn something about how you can save money on your electricity and your daily living. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.